So whatever the production house has manufactured, so there should be a system of documenting each and every process within the production house. So when we speak about the methods of operation, we have to plan the best method of processing. So whatever the quality which has been set by the product design department, whether that has been achieved, that can be done only with the help of this inspection. Hello everyone, I'm Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. I welcome you all to the session. In this Unit 3 of Session 2, we will be just continuing with the production planning and control. Now in this, we just refer to the management cycle. So what is this management cycle? So we have the strategic planning, tactical planning, then after planning we have implementation, then operation, you just operate, then evaluation, and again replanning. Now if you can see here, so we need a control for all these things. So implementation of the plans also we need control, operations also we need control, evaluation also we need control. Now here we have a drawing here. So evaluation control, operation control, implementation also is to be controlled. So why do we need this control function here? When we have planned, so as per the plans, we have to just check whether the work is going as per the plans. Now again, what is this tactical planning and strategic planning here? So let us see here. So operations are a center of the diagram because they are the dynamic doing elements of the production process. Now if you can see here, so this is the center. So they are the dynamic elements of the entire production process goes on in this operations only. So they are the center of the production process. As the diagram shows, the planning and control never cease in the production area. So wherever there is planning and control, it keeps on going in the production area. There are a variety of production and operations management responsibilities. Now, there are variety of operations and management responsibility. What are they? Now, in this, the first one is the product design. So, what is the design of the product you are manufacturing? Second one, the job design and the process design. So, once you have finalized on the product design, then you have to decide about what is the job design. So, what is the kind of manufacturing you are going for, production you are going for, whether it is mass production, continuous production, job order production or batch production, that we have to decide, and also the process design, then all equipment selection and replacement. So what kind of machinery you are needing for the production of these products, and also the replacement. So if the machinery is not available, then they replace them with suitable machinery. Labor skills and training programs. What kind of a labor you need for production of these products? Then input material selection, including the raw materials. So what are the various raw materials you need for the production and how you are going to select the raw materials? Then plant location and layout. So which plant you are selecting for the production of the goods? Then scheduling the steps of the plan. So what are the schedule of the production process? Then implementing and controlling the schedule. So once you have drawn up the schedule plan, then the next step will be to control it. See that it goes as per the schedule. Operating the production system. The next will be operating the production system. So you try to operate the production system. So they are all concerned with the design of the production process. So in the production process, we have all these activities involved. Then In addition, the control systems to be considered are. So what are the various control systems? So these are all the planning aspects we have just talked about now. Now what are the control aspects involved in production here? The first one is the inventory control policies. So inventory control policy means what is the inventory policy we are maintaining in the organization. So what kind of raw material you are purchasing and how you are purchasing, whether it is at periodic levels or whether it is at the convenience of the management, etc. So they had that we have to decide. Then quality control policies. So what is the quality of the product we are manufacturing? So at what process of the production process you will need inspection of the quality of the product produced. Production schedule and control policy. So how do you decide about the schedule of the production and control? Productivity and cost control policies. Productivity and cost control means how do you go about the quality and quantity of the product, and also what are the various cost control measures which is involved. Constructing the control system. So how do you go about having a control system within the production process itself? At what stages you need inspection and at what stages the product will just pass like that only. So all this we have to decide. Implementing and operating the control system. So whatever is the control system, you implement it and operate it. Modifying policies and designs. So whatever designs you have and whatever the policies you have, so you keep modifying it based on the situation. So these are all the control aspects to be considered in the production planning and control. Then the next one is the importance of production planning and control department. So what is the importance here? So first one is it is related to the R&D department. Now what is this R&D department? Research and development. Research and development. So they are involved in the designing process of the product. So whatever product may be, so they try to keep innovating the product. So based on their design or whatever they design they are giving. So based on that we have the production planning and control. Then next one is the product structure design document. So product structure means what is the structure of the product and the document related to that. Then we have the marketing department. So the marketing department also comes under the production planning and control, because whatever goods you are producing in the production department, it has to be marketed. Then the next one is the production planning and the control department. Then the purchase department and the stores department. Now what is this purchase department? Purchase department has to coordinate with the production house, because whatever raw materials you need for the production house, it has to be purchased by the purchase department and the stores department. The stores department has to release the raw materials in time to the production house. So there should be a coordination between the production house, purchase department and the stores department. Then we have the maintenance department. So this maintenance department takes care of the maintenance of the production house, whether it is maintenance of the machinery or whether it is maintenance of the building or whether it is maintenance of the personnel. So everything will be taken care of by the maintenance department. Then we have the manufacturing documents. So whatever the production house has manufactured, so there should be a system of documenting each and every process within the production house. So whatever you have, whatever the activities which are being carried out in the production house, it has to be documented, and that we can do with the help of the manufacturing documents. Then we have the industrial engineering department. So they look after the industrial aspect of the product which is being produced. Then we have the manufacturing department fabrication and assembly. So the manufacturing department, so they involve fabrication and assembly, fabrication of the product. So what is the product design? So first you fabricate the product design, assemble it, go for a dry run, and then you can see if it is feasible, and then you can go in for the production. Then the assembled products, the final, and now the next will be the assembled products, the final inspection and acceptance testing. So what is this final inspection and acceptance testing? So once the products are produced, then you have to go in for the final inspection of the product, and if you have to check whether this product has whatever it has been promised to the customer. So it has all those qualities which has been promised. So final inspection and acceptance testing. Then packing and dispatching of the finished goods. So once the goods have been produced, then they have to be properly packed in order to see that there is no deterioration in the quality until it reaches the hands of the consumer. And dispatching of the finished goods. So the dispatching of the finished goods means you have to see that all the packed goods are dispatched on time so that they reach the ultimate destination. Then distribution to customers through channels of distribution. So we have the various channels of distribution. So the manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer and consumer. So manufacturer, wholesaler and consumer. So we have various channels of distribution. So making use of all these channels of distribution, we can just distribute the goods to the consumers. Then production planning and control is a management tool employed for direct manufacturing operations and their coordination with all the activities. So this production planning and control tool, it is a management tool exclusively for the manufacturing sector. Now let us see what is the scope of production planning and control. Now in this, the first scope, it involves the production planning and control involves materials. Now what kind of materials it involves? It involves the finished products, it involves the work in progress, and it also involves the raw materials. Planning for procurement of raw materials, components and spares in the right quantities and specification at the right time from the right source at the right price. So if it is the materials, then the production planning department has to think about the procurement of raw materials. Procurement means you have to purchase the raw materials. Components, if it is an assembly type of a production house, then what are the various components which go into the manufacturing of the engine, and the spares at the right quantity. So you need to order the right quantity, right specification at the right time and at the right place. So this is very, very important aspect of production planning and control. Then the next we have purchasing, storage, inventory control. So purchasing of the raw materials, storage of them, inventory control, standardization, variety reduction analysis and inspection are the other activities associated with the materials. Now when we talk about materials, it not only involves purchase of materials, but it also involves storage. So you have to store the materials, the extra material whatever you have purchased, it has to be stored in the godown until it goes for the production. Then inventory control. So how do you go about the inventory control? How do you maintain the stock of inventory? What is the method you are using for inventory control? Standardization. So what is the standard goods you are producing? Variety reduction analysis and inspection. So there should be a periodical inspection of the goods which are there in the godown. So all this has to be done under the production planning and control system. Then the second one is the method. Now in this method we have choosing the best method of processing from several alternatives includes determining the best sequence of operations and tooling, jigs and fixtures, etc. So when we speak about the methods of operation, we have to plan the best method of processing. Then the next one is is machines and equipments. Manufacturing methods are related to production facilities available in the production system. So, manufacturing methods are related to production facilities available in the production system. It involves facilities planning, capacity planning, allocation, utilization of plant equipments, machines, etc. So, what is the facility you are planning for? What is the plant capacity you are planning? What is the allocation of resources? What is the utilization of plant equipments, machines, etc. Then it also involves equipment replacement policy, maintenance policy schedules, tools manufacture and maintenance of tools. So all these are involved in the scope of production planning and control. So first we have the materials, then we have the methods, third one we have the machines and equipments, then fourth one and the most important one is manpower planning. So what is the manpower planning? So what is the labor you need? What is the supervisory and managerial levels? Having appropriate skills and expertise. So this we have to plan for the manpower planning in case of a production house. Then next one is routing. Now what is routing? Determining the flow of work material handling in the plant and the sequence of operations or the processing steps. Now, in this routing aspect, we will be determining the flow of the raw materials, how the raw materials will flow, and also the sequence of operations. So, what is the sequence of operations it has to take? So, this is related to considerations of appropriate shop layout and plant layout, temporary storage provide, and efficient feedback and prompt review of targets and schedules. Now, with the help of the routing, we will be able to plan for the production schedule. Then, estimating. Now, here we will be establishing operation times leading to fixation of performance standards both for workers and machines. Now, in this estimating process, so we will be estimating what is the output for each of the machines, and also we will be estimating the output for each of the workers. So, in other words, we are determining what will be the standard performance level for the machinery as well as the labor who are working there. Then, the next scope of production planning and control is loading and scheduling. Now here, what do we mean by loading and scheduling? Machine loading is allocation of jobs to machines in conjunction with routing and with due consideration for capacity of machines and priority of jobs in order to utilize the machines to the maximum possible extent. Now, this loading, in other words, is allocation of jobs to the machines. So, what kind of a job each machine has to do? This allocation part will be done in the loading function. So, this will be done with coordination to the routing. So, according to the route you have designed, and also with due consideration to the capacity of machines. So, what is the ability of each machine to produce the goods, and priority for jobs in order to utilize the machines. So, we have to see that the machines are utilized to the maximum possible extent, and scheduling ensures that parts, sub-assemblies and finished products are completed as per the required delivery dates. Now, with the help of scheduling, we can see that all the parts, sub-assemblies and the finished products, they are delivered at the due dates. So, it provides a timetable for manufacturing the activities. So, with the help of loading and scheduling, you can prepare a timetable of what each machine has to produce and what is the standard time taken, what is the raw material utilized, and what is the cost involved. So, everything has to be planned, and all this will be in the loading and the scheduling aspect. It ensures balanced load on work centers and even flow of work through the manufacturing facilities. So, whatever manufacturing facilities we have, all that can be done with the help of this kind of a loading and scheduling. Then the next aspect is dispatching. It is concerned with the execution of the planning function. So all this time you have been planning for the production function. Now the dispatching is the implementation of the planning function. It gives necessary authority to start a particular work which has already been planned under routing and scheduling function. So whatever you have planned under the routing and scheduling, so it will be taken up in this dispatching function. It is the release of orders and instructions for the starting of production in accordance with the route sheets and the schedule charts. So you have already planned everything. Now after planning everything, you just give the release orders for all the machines and the labor, so whoever are there. So you give the orders and instructions and start the actual production. That is what we call as dispatching. Then the next step, the next scope involved is expediting. What is expediting? It means chasing, follow up, or progressing, which is done after the dispatching function. So whatever we do, we have planned it, we have given the instructions, the work is going on in the instruction, in the dispatching everything, and the next step will be you have to follow up. Whatever you have planned, you have to follow up. It keeps a close liaison with the scheduling in order to provide an efficient feedback and prompt review of targets and schedules. So with the help of this expediting process, we will be able to see that there is a close monitoring of the production activity. So we have to just check whether it is going as per the schedule and as per the routing we have planned. So if there is any deviation, it should be brought to the notice of the supervisor involved. Then the last step in the scope is inspection. This function is related to maintenance of quality in production and evaluating the efficiency of the processes, methods and labor so that improvement can be made to achieve quality standards set by the product design. So in this inspection function, there will be inspection of the product actually which has been produced. In addition to the product which has been produced, there will also be evaluation of the efficiency of the process. So what is the process involved? And you have to also see if the process is efficient and if the methods involved, whatever we have used, the methods, whether they are also efficient and whether we have improved labor, so that improvement can be made in order to see that we get the quality. So whatever the quality which has been set by the product design department, whether that has been achieved, that can be done only with the help of this inspection. Then next we have the evaluating. Now in this evaluating, the objective of evaluation is to improve the performance of the machines, processes, labor is evaluated to improve the same. So after each production run, then we have the evaluating process, so where we will be checking for the performance. So whether the performance of the machine can be improved, whether the performance of the processes can be improved, or the labor can be improved. Then the last aspect is the cost control. So manufacturing cost is controlled by wastage reduction, value analyzing, inventory control and efficient utilization of all resources. Now this cost control is an important aspect of the production house. So why it is important? Because only when you have a reduction in the cost control, you will be able to have higher profits. So it is controlled by wastage reduction. So how do you manage the cost control? The first aspect is reduce the wastage which is coming out of the production house. Value analyzing. So then you have the value analyzing, inventory control and efficient utilization. So if you can make the best utilization of all the resources involved, then automatically we can get cost control. Then In short, production planning and control is concerned with the decision making. So, what are the various aspects of decision making in production planning and control? So, the first one is what to produce. Second one, how to produce, where to produce, when to produce, who will produce, and how much to produce. So, in short, if you can just analyze what is the scope of production planning and control, if you can get answers to all these questions, then your answer is the scope of production planning and control. Then the next one here, it also involves product planning and development, including the product design. Now, in production planning, we have the inclusion of the product design because it is based on the design itself. The production planning and control will be done. Then, second one will be the process planning. So, what is the actual process through which the production will be carried on? Then, the material planning. So, in the material planning, you have to think about what are the raw materials utilized and the quality of the raw materials, etc. Then, tool planning. What are the various tools involved in this? Then, we have the facilities planning. Facilities planning means what is the kind of a plant you need. Capacity planning. So, what kind of a machinery? What is the capacity of machines you are having? Then subcontracting planning. So, whether you want to have a subcontract of any of the processes involved, production scheduling and machine loading, and we have the manpower planning. So, after having all the schedules, then we have to decide what is the kind of labor you need for production. Next, let us see what are the principles of production planning and control, or in short, we call it as the PPC. The type of production determines the kind of production planning the control system needed. Now, it is all based on the type of production. What kind of production you are doing, whether it is batch production, mass production, continuous production, job order production. So, we have different types of production. Based on that, we have our production planning and control. Then second one is the number of parts involved in the production affects the expenses of operating the PPC department. So, what are the number of parts involved in the product? So, it will affect the expenses of the operating department. Then the complexity of the PPC function varies with the number of assemblies involved. So, if you are into assembling of an engine, then what are the various spare parts required? What are the various minute aspects of the machine which are required, which go into the assembly of the machine? So, depending on that complexity of the operation, the complexity of the production planning also will be more complex. Then time is a common denominator for all scheduling activities. Now, for all schedule, whenever we have to prepare a plan, the time becomes the most important factor. Have to set a standard time and see that it is maintained throughout the activities. Then, the size of the plant has relatively little to do with the type of the PPC system needed. So, the size of the plant has nothing to, it has no influence on the PPC, and it permits management by exception. So, what is this management by exception? It means the management will intervene only when there are any exceptional situations involved. Otherwise, they will not involve themselves. Then cost control should be a byproduct of the PPC function. So, along with the PPC, when you have proper planning and control, so you get the cost control automatically. The highest efficiency in production is obtained by manufacturing the required quantity of the product of the required quality or the required time by the best and the cheapest method. So, the manufactured goods in the required quantity, required quality, required time and the cheapest method, then we say that the production planning and control is very, very effective. So, it is a tool which coordinates the production and the operation system. With this, we come to the end of this session. Hope you have all followed. Thank you.